Hey, hello there. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Hi. Oh my goodness, wait. I gotta adjust this real quick. Oi. Actually, no, it's fine. The volume's fine. The game's just so weird. For some reason, it goes silent whenever I have it, like, not clicked on the game. So it's like, it's kind of difficult to tell if the volume's decent. But nah, it's fine. Hello. I ain't gonna lie, I'm tired from work, but I got myself some boba. I chugged some boba before this, so then now I feel decent. The sugar will keep me alive. At least alive enough to escape from Cyborg. When everything descends into chaos, where the familiar blends with the unfamiliar, and when morality flips upside down, the only thing you can do is run. Give it your all and escape from this bizarre cyborg world. Victor, please. With what I get from here, can I have your weapon? Come on. Their respective positions, having a different stance is not the same as being an enemy. And now we fight. Steer. Everything has been overturned. The cycle is set to repeat, all for peace of your soul, and you shall be a player on the chaotic, absurd stage. Okay, I'm ready to be a player. I think. Maybe? Yes? I am. Yeah, I am. I'll just keep whatever the default team is, why not? No fear. I get to just sit back and chill. I kinda wish I had more sweets. But nah, boba was good enough. Boba was a good dessert. But then I could have been greedy. I could have gotten multiple. But that might have been overkill, so maybe not. For some reason, there were so many packages at work today. I don't know why, but it was fine. I felt like such a pro, manning all those by myself. Ooh. Jury duty sounds like pain. Oh, that also kind of reminds me, I gotta fill out some more paperwork. AKA, I gotta sign up for a thingy, like an appointment with someone to... What is it, notary approved or something? So they can watch me sign something, which is kind of funny. After 404 Combat Team A's arrival at the Elmo, word about the loosening of the agreement naturally reaches members of the Combat Team B. What do I think of the new auto-follow camera? To me it's okay. I don't really pay attention to it. I'm just like, auto's fine. When I play the game on my own, I usually have like a video I'm watching anyways, so just start the video while being like, okay, fight's done, next fight. With Klukai's permission, 404 Combat Team B, being led by Vector, is successfully rendezvous with Elmo. And just like that, Hyde 404, while still operating as an independent entity, will utilize the Elmo as a long-term base. Having just completed some combat simulation training, the members of Combat Team B return to the terminal. The progress bar on the monitor is at 100%, and dense rows of data and statistical charts start scrolling down. Vector stares at the final combat evaluation score with a slight frown. You don't look very happy despite the decent score. Yo, Vector, I get that. I mean, I have Vector, of course she interests. But she hurt me. Lost a 50-50 in both her and her weapon. I still gotta get her weapon, though. Candidness is the key to effective communication among teammates. So tell me, why are you dissatisfied with the score? It's not about the score. Well, you didn't follow the operation plan we agreed upon beforehand. A good plan should be flexible enough to withstand change. As the mastermind behind the plan, I'm well aware of this. But since you find it necessary, I don't mind doing a full debrief and review. The original plan was to immobilize the enemies with a stun grenade after breaking through the door. Ruche and I would then lay down a suppressive fire from the front, while you and Harpsy would circle around and rescue the hostages. Yes, that's about right. You're correct. And you did your part. But your unexpected addition affected the whole situation. Wilrod raises an eyebrow in acknowledgement. Indeed, I decided to deviate from the plan to eliminate a certain unit. I don't know why there was a chandelier in the lab, but I bet the interior designer who put it there would be glad to know that their fancy light fixture was the key to our victory. If there were designers on level 2, that is. Has it occurred to you that actively altering the environment could put us at a disadvantage? I think you should make it clear what exactly you're getting at to avoid any misunderstanding. In other words, scattering glass everywhere wasn't exactly conducive to our subsequent actions or withdrawal. Shards of broken glass do no damage to doll frames. Yes, but they do harm the hostages. Ah, oops, sorry hostages, we did it for the aesthetic. Pardon? Hello, hello. Some procrastination, I'd be tired. I'm dying a bit. So sleepy. But you know it's worth it for the extra gacha funds. Hehe. Wilrod is confused for a moment. Oh yeah. The funniest thing for work, what it seems like just based on today, I might be the one getting the earliest shift. Which hurts as a night owl. I was the first one in. And the last one out today. I was like, yo, I'm asserting dominance on day 2. Wilrod is confused for a moment. We have no medical dolls on our team. If a hostage gets injured and infected under such circumstances, we wouldn't have been able to fully complete our mission. You seem to have overlooked a very important detail. Our hostages were simulated. You're right. But when we're in the real world, our standpoints would be completely reversed. If we don't consider the hostages, we would be the ones who'd end up in a recycling plant. Though I suppose the pain wouldn't last long. No matter how many points we score in level 2, we would just be T-dolls whose lives are ruined by video games. To be fair, that'd be quite fitting for me. Ruined by video games, eh? Also, you should really have notified us before making such a drastic move. If you look at the replay, Ruche clearly wasn't aware of your intentions, so she couldn't coordinate with you despite being right next to you. Even if we suck, we should all suck together. Hey, hello, hello. The battlefield is ever-changing. Opportunities wait for no one. Surely you know that as well. You can't deny the fact that by dropping the chandelier on the enemies, I gradually reduced the threat they posed as well as the time it took to mount the rescue, thus increasing the hostages' chances of survival. Even in the real world, loitering at the scene would be more dangerous for the hostages than getting cut by shards of glass. But if the chandelier had been rigged with a bomb or grenade, things would have turned out very differently. So what do you want me to do? Apologize for something that didn't happen but could have happened in your pathetic, delusional paranoia? Focus on the results vector, like a normal doll would. Ouch. Oh my goodness, yes. I am happy that there's gonna be a rerun for the next intense C1. Sensing the tension in the air, Harpsy wrings her hands nervously. Ruche looks back and forth between her teammates and is just about to say something. Knock knock. A knock on the glass interrupts the conversation. The dolls all look toward the sound. Commander? Sup. The door slides open with a soft whoosh. I retract my gaze from the screen in the training room and direct my attention to Vector, who has jogged up to me. What is it, Commander? Are you here to supervise our training? No, I came to talk to you. Still, isn't this score a bit low for you guys? Following my gaze, Vector glances at the data shown on the screen through the glass. Yeah, I didn't handle the problem very well. We have very different habits and ways of thinking. The adjustment process is proving a little challenging. I don't know if you noticed, but rather than adjusting to each other, that sounded more like a full-blown argument to me. You heard it all then? Just a part of it, but things are getting pretty heated. The way I see it, you do work well as a team, but maybe things may go more smoothly if you communicate in some other way. Klukai said as much. She told me to find an effective way of communicating with my teammates. But arguing is also a way of communicating, no? It may be a bit harsh, but through an argument, we can all efficiently state our own needs and deepen our understanding of each other. Besides, Will-Rod's cutting remarks also serve as a regular reminder that this position of leadership just fell out of the sky for me, and that I have yet to prove myself worthy of it. Will-Rod. The change in the way she speaks was a bit dramatic, but I'm sure she didn't mean it that way. I do wonder what she has gone through. Her tongue is much sharper than it used to be. It still beats my consistent self-pity, at least. She worked on becoming more persuasive. You see, on top of reaching an understanding, you also need to reach a consensus. You must also get Will-Rod to trust your concern and judgment if you value cooperation. But right now, both you and Will-Rod are still standing your ground and trying to force each other to accept your respective views. I hesitate as I gaze at Vector, who is now deep in thought. Vector was appointed as a leader of 404 Combat Team B by Klukai. It's clear to me that the biggest challenge that stands in her way of being a good team leader has nothing to do with her combat performance or battlefield awareness. The problem is with her personality and style. She fully acknowledges the problem, but that's all she does. She acknowledges it and seems perfectly content to resign herself to it. Oh, I understand that. I get that, Vector. Ow. I feel that on a personal level. I suppose deep down, even Vector herself doesn't believe that she is up to the task. Klukai may give her some pointers, but she isn't really the type to give any encouragement. Sorry, that might have been a bit harsh. Since you're the team leader, I'm sure you have your own way of managing your team. Right, back to the subject. Have you seen the message that Klukai sent you? Vector pulls out her communicator immediately. There's an unread message. Mechti's training plan? What? I'll be out on a mission with Klukai. Andrus and Belka are also coming with us. Mechti's frame is still under calibration, so we'll leave her behind on the Elmo for now. However, Klukai has put together a training program for Mechti because she's worried that Mechti is going to sleep the whole time we're away and completely neglect her essential data calibration. She said you never replied to the message she sent to you, but she's busy preparing for the mission, so I came to follow up on that for her. You want me to supervise Mechti's training? That's right. I believe Klukai would like Combat Team B to bring her along for your training as well. Don't go easy on her. Not even in a 4v1 or relay fight. Ooh! Oh man, I'm kinda happy that there's a lot more to go through for Star Rail. I gotta start saving for Fate's Day Night collab. I got that new Anaxa dude, or that... I mean, well, new-ish, cause his banner just ended, but still... At this point, everything again in the story has to go to Fate's Day Night. 4v1 would be a bit too... I've included all the things to note and precautions to take here. Any case, just make sure your head isn't always attached to your pillow. Fine. I hope Mechti won't find the fight against me too underwhelming. Vector's pessimism is a bit of a headache, but since I'm set it apart, I'll leave it till after I come back. Basically, Klukai wants you to take over as Mechti's leader while she's away. So don't hold back and be as strict as you want with her, Vector. I'll do my best, but only if I can even wake Mechti and get her to attend her training. After returning to the training room, Vector informs her teammates of the arrangement made by the commander and Klukai. Oh? Looks like your great team leader has switched careers and became a nanny. Vector ignores Wellrad, who's still hung up on the argument they're having. Let's call it a day. Submit your reports before 6. I'll read through them after I finish supervising Mickey's combat simulation for today. Harpsy speaks up a bit timidly from her corner. What is it? Actually, may I supervise Mickey's training? You're actually volunteering for a mission, Harpsy? No, I was going to supervise Mickey's training to begin with. As a favor for Dear. Why? Because the EW tactical module she's using to debug her data was specially developed by Dear at Klukai's request. I also participated in the development of the module. Hello? Since Dear has disembarked and returned to the safe zone, he asked me to monitor this operation for the module. An advanced tactical module sounds pretty interesting. Not really. It's all rather boring. So, since I'm supposed to be doing it, please let me. I understand. However, since Klukai has assigned this mission to me, I must be present. Harpsy, you're staying with me. Harpsy's face freezes a little comically as she struggles to respond. Okay. I'm staying too. Huh? Well, why are you also staying, Wellrad? I would love to see for myself what kind of advanced training Team A undergoes. Problem? No, If Wellrad is also here, then it's all over. In that case, Vivi, come in as well. I'm sure you have better things to do. I want to spend more time with you, Vivi. Please. Staring into Ruchie's expectant eyes, Vector lets out a sigh. Suit yourselves. Just make sure you submit your reports by 6. Yay! Oh gosh, though. Speaking of submitting reports, I don't think I got my final grade yet. I mean, sure, teachers gotta submit it by the end of the day, but Mickey feels a light shove on her arm. Her auditory module, which has been inactive while in sleep mode, activates instantly. Wake up. That doesn't sound like Klukai. The shove also felt a lot less violent than usual. In that case, I'll just... If you don't get up this instant, I'll confiscate all the manga on the floor, you hear? Not the manga! Hey, thank you. No! That's an out-of-print collectible edition of Doll Family! Oh my goodness, yes, Doll Family! A Doll Family, signed by the manga artist. It's super expensive! Mixie performs a spectacular kick-up from the beanbag sofa. She relaxes visibly when she sees who it is. Oh, it's you, Vector. Here. I invite you to appraise this beanbag sofa together. With me. I spent a fortune on it. It's much comfier than the couch in the lounge. You see, the moment you lie down... As much as I want to join you, this isn't the time. Mickey's utterly deaf to what Vector is saying, as if she just flipped a switch. I really didn't want to come to this, but according to the guide that Klukai has left behind, this would be the most effective thing to do. With a helpless sigh, Vector grabs Mickey by the arms, lifts her up, and shakes her back and forth with great force. Hold on, something will come loose at this rate. Alright, I'm getting up. What the heck? You're starting to act more and more like Klukai. What happened? Are we supposed to be best friends of the Beanbag Club? You have 7 hours to complete today's combat simulation training. If you don't complete it in time, Klukai will be notified that your training is behind schedule. It's fine. Klukai isn't even here. I'm sure even the training conference will be postponed. Hang on. How do you know about my training program? Klukai asked the commander to task me with supervising your training before she left. Even though I don't really think someone like me is in any position to supervise others. Oh, come on! She actually recruited a snitch. She even kicked up a big fuss and got the commander involved. Wait, don't tell me she's also giving you the switch that determines my fate. What switch? Hey, thank you. Your final grade is quite rare. Yes, I'm an SSR. What? I'm talking about your school grade. It's an E. How do you even do that? E for excellent, that's why, right? Totally. E for excellent, or maybe it's E for egg. Have an egg in this trying time. Oh, nothing. Oh no, Vector, don't take everything so seriously. Remember the first tenet of our beanbag club? Never do anything now that can be put off until the last minute. 7 hours is a really long time, you see. I don't remember joining any club. Get up. Klukai didn't mention it in her message, but I'm guessing I will be held responsible if you don't complete your training in time. Seeing as she can't weasel her way out of this, Mickey slides off her beanbag sofa reluctantly. Hey, hello. Man, out of the other people inside of Team B, I want to know more about Riche. Trying to guilt trip me now. Damn it. Klukai is becoming more and more like Neva. I mean, look at her. She's adorable. Twin tails are cute. One of the reasons why I like Kasane Teto. Just for now, NPCs then. Oh, Mekti! Morning! Isn't it almost the afternoon? You guys and Team A sure are laid back. Mekti looks around the training room wordlessly and turns towards Vector. So just how little does Klukai trust me to have arranged such an over-the-top surveillance team for me? Maybe the two of us are the ones she doesn't trust. Whatever. Harpsy, make the preparations. Okay. Harpsy links Mekti to the combat control terminal. She hesitates for a moment after entering level 2, but then proceeds to activate the module. Riche was originally PP90. Of note, she's been in the game cinematics from the beginning, but still hasn't been released. Oh my goodness! Wow, since the beginning. What a time in NPC jail. Turn on the monitoring device and project her level 2 onto the screen. Do we need to be that thorough? I believe by supervising, Klukai meant watching her every single move like a hawk. What's the matter with you today, Harpsy? Why do you seem so tense? Huh? Do I... Look, Phoebe, the image on the screen looks a bit strange. Prompted by Riche's exclamation, Vector looks towards the screen. I feel decent, a bit tired, but I am living off the power of boba. It is not showing the scene of a combat simulation. In the center of the black screen, an hourglass icon keeps rotating, and lines of text start emerging. Constructing world framework. Formulating achievable objectives. Sowing tiny seeds of malice. A happy ending. What is this? Ooh, this seems ominous. I like this. And oh, cute! PP90 and Vector were friends in GFL 1, and were even on a team together when participating in a tournament for the division. Oh, that's sad. Lying about a massive cash prize. But oh, they were friends for a while. What is this? Just then, a new image appears on the screen. The city from a bird's eye view is deserted. It appears desolate, dilapidated. The image lurches and starts diving downward. A black spot on the ground grows ever larger. As the camera dives, new text appears on the screen again. The once prosperous and beautiful city fell into decline under the ravages of invaders. As a guardian, it is your unavoidable duty to eliminate them. Young one, go and create a legend. The subtitles disappear. As the camera approaches the ground, it gradually becomes clear that the black spot is in fact a doll armed with a gun. She is facing a horde of enemies that are ready to attack. I love this. Oh, that's Mickey. Hehe. It's not a bad idea to gamify training. Well done, Harpsy. Yo, this is Harpsy's doing. I love this. Mickey, what's going on? Oh, it's starting. Let's talk after the game. That's actually genius. Make it like a video game and it's gonna be so fun to play. I mean, so fun to train. Like, oh heck yeah. I too would happily train. They, along with all their participants, also had usernames within the tournament. Vector called herself Tactical Doll Vector. Well, PP90 named herself Not a Wig, Good Drills. I believe in the twin drills. What a nice combo. Wee. Oh. Ta-da! After making quick work of the enemies, Mickey holds up a big V sign. At the same time, the words "Level Up" pop up over her head. Harpsy, get her on comms. Right. On the screen, Mickey jumps as she's startled by something. Then she turns around and leans in closer. Wow. So the monitoring device looks like a flying camera on level 2. It's even equipped with comms. Disguised as a familiar that follows a girl around. A distasteful yet classic trope. Looks like you've been reading the manga I gave you, Harpsy. So I'm guessing I'll have to enter a contract soon enough, eh? Harpsy? What? What's this all about? Under Vector's impassive gaze, Harpsy finally stops wringing her hands and starts fiddling with the edge of her coat instead. It's a plugin that introduces video game mechanics into combat simulation. The plot is generated by an advanced AI. It makes training more fun and interesting. I don't think we will find anything fun and interesting once Klukai finds out about this. I know you've been spending a lot of time in forums for game devs lately, but this mod wasn't your idea, was it? It's my idea. I asked Harpsy to whip this up. Don't you find the train these days really dull? I just can't get fired up. Was it really a good idea to turn combat simulations into games? Yes, it is. It's very good. Humph. I've actually done my research, you know. The concept of gamification has been introduced to many jobs and business activities these days. Experimental results show that it significantly improves employees' enthusiasm and productivity. For the sake of 404's training efficiency, I don't mind volunteering as a lab rat to test this out. Where's your proposal? Huh? Your investigation report and analysis. It's one thing that you didn't tell me, but you actually put it into practice before clearing it with Klukai? Well, if I told the tyrant right from the start, my ingenious plan would have been nipped in the bud. But training shouldn't be a game. Vivi and I have played a video game about warfare before, but it cannot really be applied to training. Since it's training, I'm sure Harpsy has considered the issue of applicability. To lump her in with a certain dork on Team A, who only ever thinks about slacking and playing is doing her a disservice. Hey, I can still hear you. I'm not questioning Harpsy's ability, or Mickey's. The issue here is that you shouldn't have kept us in the dark about this. Anything can happen in such an unstable operating environment. You are indeed very perceptive of potential dangers in certain situations, but don't forget, this is just a game plugin. Dolls don't take any damage from virtual space. Why don't you give your worst-case scenario algorithm a break? Harpsy gradually starts to regain her composure. She peers at Vector woefully. Wilra's face appears calm, but her eyes still flicker with emotion. You see, on top of reaching an understanding, you also need to reach a consensus. You must also get Wilra to trust your concern and judgment if you value cooperation. Right now, both you and Wilra are still standing your ground and trying to force each other to accept your respective views. And okay, Leva herself, AAA, Lena, Reina, Klukai, Blue Roar. Blue Roar. To reach a consensus, maybe I should yield a little? Come now, let's not argue. I'll tell Klukai about this later. She'll probably tell me off, but no biggie. If I don't start playing, training, I'll get a demerit for falling behind schedule. In the end, Vector has let out a soft sigh. Fine, carry on with your training. I doubt we'll be able to contact Klukai the commander anytime soon. Alright. But I'm also taking part. Vivi? Huh? Well, I don't mind. You gave me such an earful, but you just want to play as well, eh? No. I'm just worried you run into problems that you can't solve. Also, if I don't experience it myself, I won't be able to report to Klukai on its implementation. Oh, how very serious and responsible of you. Harpsy, log me in too. Okay. I'll change it to two-player mode. Ooh, two-player. Next, please. More. The overgrown weeds and cracked soil beneath Vector's feet stretch all the way to the high walls surrounding the city in the distance. Using the watch-like operating device fixed on her wrist, Vector opens up the map area. On the map, the red cursors representing her and Mekti are drawing closer together. Vector, over here! The wind carries Mekti's holler. Vector slays her surroundings. Her attention is immediately drawn to the red telephone booth not far from her. She then catches sight of Mekti, who's bouncing up and down right next to the phone booth, weaving her arms around. Her hair is frizzy and messy, like a bunch of weeds. Vector the Brave, are you ready to set upon this adventure with me? I think I am. No, you're not. But that's alright, Mekti the Great Prophet will guide your way. Come, head inside. Mekti points at the red phone booth. What's this? You'll find out when you get in. Vector is ushered into the phone booth, which looks decidedly out of place with its surroundings. Then in Mekti's instance, she picks up the receiver and puts it against her ear. After a soft click, a mechanical female voice comes out from the other side of the line. Saving game. Do not disconnect. Saved. You're fully restored. Vector hangs up and exits the phone booth. She realizes her HP bar is full again. So it's a save point. Save points are super important. You can only level up and restore to full health at save points. Whoa, how can you jump 3 levels in an instant? Your level's not even higher than mine, the Great Prophet. I killed several Elids on the way. So you get more XP from farming Elid mobs? That shouldn't be the case. Are you really Mekti? Of course I am. Why do you ask me? Your energetic demeanor and genuine effort in problem solving are incongruent with my neural records. I told you as much. Gaming can boost enthusiasm. If you were this enthusiastic in real life, Klukai wouldn't have... Whoosh! The sound of bullets slicing through the air. Sniper, 11 o'clock. The two dolls dive into the side of the road. The next second, a bullet hole appears on the spot where they were just standing. Vector promptly draws her submachine gun and aims at the source of the shot, but she freezes at the sight of her attacker. The doll standing on the slope not far away from sports corkscrew twin towers that are most familiar to Vector. Oh no, it's an enemy. Number 90. Relax, that was just a greeting. But her attitude is utterly unfamiliar. Huh? Ruche? Oh, why is she also in the game? That's not Ruche. What? Who are you? Ruina Chrysalis lies just ahead. It's not a place meant for norms like you. For morons like you. I've seen too many who risk everything trying to make a fortune, but ended up playing with their lives. Ruche, who bears the name to tag number 90 above her head, continues her monologue, as though she hasn't heard Vector's question at all. You're right. Ruche doesn't talk like Klukai. What? You don't know about Ruina Chrysalis? No, the technology of converting collapsed crystals into crystal energy has won the city worldwide renown. Just how ignorant are you? Collapsed crystals. Crystal energy? Crystal energy has made Ruina Chrysalis the most prosperous and affluent city in the world, and is the best place for us crystal hunters to find jobs. Unfortunately, the largest arterial crystal pipe in there exploded, and the radiation released led to the creation of countless invaders. It was all because the wanton destruction they caused that Ruina Chrysalis is in a starry state. Or in a sorry state. Rishi's tone and gestures become increasingly impassioned. It's almost as if a spotlight is shining on her as she soliloquies. But even as a set of ruins, the remaining collapsed crystals in Ruina Chrysalis still attract countless fools who dream of getting rich overnight. If you are just headless flies driven by greed, I advise you to run around and scram as fast as you can. What the hell is she on about? Huh? You're not headless flies, you say? Then who on earth are you? After hearing that, Ruche freezes like someone has pushed a pause button on her. She even stares at them unmovingly. Two lines of text appear in front of her out of thin air. A. We're not headless flies. B. We're guardians who have come to see the city. She seems to be automatically filtering what we say. These two lines are responses? Oh, maybe. Yeah, what? What? Maybe we're in a cutscene, and these two lines are the choices that will set us up on different plot branches. In that case, Ruche, no. This number 90 must be an NPC? NPC. NPC. Mekti, have you ever encountered this when you used your plugin previously? Nope. The plots are always really simple. It's either slaying a dragon to save a princess or collecting little beast pets. Aha! Why don't we just ask Harpy, the creator of the plugin? I mean Harpsy, the creator of the plugin. Harpsy, what's going on here? But the surveillance camera simply flutters around them, giving no response. Strange. The comm sign disappeared. Then... let's just randomly pick an answer. Oh no, gotcha. Mekti reads the 2 lines quickly. Let's not beat around the bush and just state our identity. We're guardians who have come to save this place. Wow, that sounded pretty badass. Riche comes to life again after receiving a new input. Guardians? Could we lose that you actually be guardians? Ahem. Since you're guardians, I have no reason to stop you. Though I seriously question your ability to save Ruina Crystallis. How dare you question us? To prevent you from a humiliating defeat, I have some information to share with you. Invaders will regenerate infinitely in the radiation, and can only be eradicated by using a secret weapon that can cleanse the radiation. The secret weapon is a research institute in the northwest corner of Ruina Crystallis. I have guided many people there, but none have returned. Hello? If you're sure about this, follow this road and head north. There's a border terminal, which is the only entrance on the sealed city. And here's the supplies for you. Zone map, outskirts of Reno obtained. Ammo 36 obtained. Main story, quest update, head to the research institute in Ruina Crystallis. As the mechanical female voice speaks again, the dolls feel a soft vibration on their wrists. Now go and complete your mission. Stop taking up space here. With that, Riche freezes again. Almost at the same time, a frantic voice shrieks from the surveillance camera. Vivi? It wasn't me. I'll never call you a fool or a moron. Delete that from your neurolog. I see. I actually find her assessment quite pertinent. Vivi! Don't worry, everyone. Don't worry. Even I could understand. Could tell that wasn't you. Go on. Get Harpsy in the line. Okay, but promise me that you'll delete that. Harpsy, here you go. Harpsy's voice now speaks from the camera. Victor. Why did the comms line get disconnected just now? It didn't. To enhance the gaming immersion, voice input is automatically disabled when entering a cutscene. A cutscene? So number 90 really is an NPC? Yes. The creative AI implanted in the plugin can only write very simple things in the early stages, and after a period of time, it will learn to upgrade itself by reading the subject's neurologs. Maybe this is why Mekti had never encountered any NPCs before. Reading the subject's neural clouds. That's right. Due to a lack of training, of R&D training, some of the settings as well as the NPC's models operations are randomly extracted and created from dolls who have taken part in the past combat simulations and the neurologs. So even if that wasn't really Riche, but merely a character who embody resemblance data, The personality is based entirely on the plot generated by the AI. A carbon copy in terms of physical appearance, but with a completely different personality? Oh boy, that's pretty interesting. I'm getting really excited about what's going to happen. Does this runic crystallis she mentioned exist in reality? No, the AI just grabbed some information about collapsed crystals and made up the rest. Perhaps to ease Vector's concern, Harpsy adds cautiously. Don't worry. It's all just for internal use. None of this is uploaded to the network, so our data's totally safe. Understood. Vector nods. I have no more questions. Let's go. Let's go, Mekti. Now that we have a new map, we should continue to explore. Ho ho! You seem to be even more fired up than me, Vector. See? Gamification does work. Perhaps. But being more fired up than using something that warrants such much praise. Nah, she gets all the praise. Following number 90's instructions, the two dolls enter the border terminal without much hassle. The deserted building appears spacious and empty. A gloom of the unknown lies beyond the turnstile. Wow. It looks almost like a passage that leads to some kind of alternate dimension. Watch your step. What? Meizi dodges aside out of reflex. When she looks back, she realizes it's just a broken limb of an eyelid. Huh. Now that I take a good look, the whole place is littered with eyelid remains. I have a bad feeling about this. Once we go through this passage, we should be back in the city. Vector peers at Mekti's health bar. By the way, I've been meaning to ask. What? Vector, what's that grayish white thing underneath our health bar? It goes down periodically. Oh, that's... All of a sudden, a piercing howl interrupts the conversation. Victor's eye falls as she darts a glance behind her. Duck, enemy, quick! Now imagine if there was actually a duck enemy. Shuba shuba. We're facing an unknown number of enemy units. Let's keep our distance for now. Ooh. Hey, thank you. These footsteps. It sounds like there are quite a few enemies. Let's just try to handle them to the best of our abilities. Okay, I'll take this side. Okay, how painful will this be? Should be fine, I'm gonna leave. Combat start. Hee hee hee. And now to sit back and enjoy it. And also stretch a bit. Stretching, yay! Whee! Reach for the stars, self. Ow. Grabbing an energy drink is so tempting just to sip on. Maybe not finish it tonight. Keep it around for tomorrow, I guess. I'll just think about it for now. Instead, they're just steering. Lots and lots of steer. Steer, steer, steer. Temptation is real, though. Bang. The last Elid is shot through the head and topples to the ground even while it's lunging forward. Standing in front of it is Vector, who didn't manage to raise her gun in time. Her finger remains still on the trigger. Ew, that was close. Are you okay? Vector straightens up. She curls her fingers and uncurls them again tentatively. I was unable to move due to some kind of force, but I seem to be okay now. Oh, that's because your stamina bar was down to 0. Stamina bar? You know, the grayish-white thing that you were just asking about. Any big movement like jumping, rolling, etc. consumes stamina. If your stamina bar is empty, you won't be able to move and will have to wait for your stamina to recover. Ooh, Vector's AoE can usually kill almost the entire map in one turn. Oh man, now I have to get more copies later. Today was payday, so technically I could spend some. I could do it. I'ma think about it for now. To do that, Mixie the Prophet suggests you move in and cut your enemies while recovering your stamina. Don't make any big movements unless you absolutely have to. I see. But how do you define big movements? Any movements other than walking. That doesn't seem very reasonable. What are you talking about? This is the essence of this kind of game. Stamina management is the key that sets noobs and pros apart. You still have much to learn, newbie Vector. But in reality, unless there's some kind of malfunction, dolls don't experience such interruptions to their power supply before their battery runs out. I can't think of any real benefit this mechanism brings to actual combat in the real world. I ain't gonna lie, V6 is tempting. I gotta do that for sure for W's sister eventually. Woohoo! Well, Mexi seems to be devoting a lot of computational power to pondering this question. Her brow furrows deeply. It can reduce unnecessary maneuvers, conserve energy and power. See, at the end of the day, energy and power aren't infinite. I personally disagree, but I'll note this down and let Klukai and the commander be the judge of that. We're having so much fun here. Why do you have to keep bringing up the bad ending that awaits me? As they converse, they step over the remains of an Elid and head towards a turnstile. Neither of them notices its almost imperceptible twitch. Oh, it's sleeping. Or playing dead. With a soft click, Vector and Micty exit the phone booth. Before them lie the familiar weeds and cracked earth. The bloody text, "You died," remains hauntingly fresh in their memory. Wait, why are we here again? You return to the last save point only when you die. So clearly, we just died? How? I have no idea. I was talking to you so I didn't see anything, but something probably ambushed us from behind. Just then, the surveillance camera pipes up while circling around them. Vivi, I saw it. It was the Ella that you just shot down. It was feigning death. It was the one who attacked you from behind. Eled, it feigned death? We've been had. I should have known there would be such sneaky-ass moves in this kind of game. Yep. Hang on. Am I being ignorant here? Have you ever seen an Eled that knows how to feign death? I haven't, but it doesn't rule out the possibility. When it's a matter of life and death, even the poor Elids have to pick up some cunning tricks. If that's true, then all commissions that involve Elids would double in price. This time, it's Wilrod who speaks to the camera. Victor, isn't this one of those extreme unlikelihoods that you're so obsessed with? This shouldn't be so far-fetched according to your logic. It's like, touché! The derision in Wellrod's tone does not escape Vector, but she makes no rebuke. Instead, she pulls up the game interface. We're missing a certain amount of ammo and 531 XP. Is this a system error? Oh no, it's probably the penalty for dying. Penalty for dying? Just so we get drops as a reward for killing enemies. If we die, we also lose supplies and XP. but the supplies are usually retrievable at the location of her death. Wouldn't they be seized by the enemies? Huh? That'd be way too infuriating, no? These are the players' hard-earned supplies. If any game implements that, it'll flop real hard as soon as it launches. That might actually be an interesting gimmick. Feels like the game is dragging us around by the nose. Yeah, I totally get what you mean. Sometimes, when you just can't beat the game and you're so angry that you want to quit, you'll think to yourself, oh, I should at least pick up the loot before quitting. Then once you've done that, you think, since I'm here, why don't I give it another go? Maybe I'll beat it this time? Then before you know it, a whole night has passed. So the game has explained the player's fear of loss and competitive nature to keep them addicted. Let's go and retrieve our loot and make our way to Arena Crystallis. Mixie, the ultimate gamer. We'll have to be careful this time around. We'll be fine. I know the elites here can play dead now. But it's so annoying to have to fight them again. Remember to shoot them once more after they go down to ensure that no elites are playing dead. Yeah, I've got it. This is actually good training. Then let us begin. Also, gosh darn it, I do have problems. Okay, maybe instead of an energy drink, instant coffee. I didn't have coffee today, I only had tea. I drank water and tea today. I mean water... Yeah, water and tea! Cause boba's also tea. Milk tea. I had tea, milk tea, water, and water. Oh my goodness, so healthy. Minus the boba. Boom. Ooh, loot. Maybe I'll ask for some instant coffee. I'll think about it for now. That was close. I was starting to think I would lose. That was a hard game. That was training. Never mind. Let's go see what else we can take. Okay, I'll have a look over there. Mexi and Vector start rummaging through a pile of elids scattered all around for supplies. The searched elid corpses disintegrate and fade away. Ammo 63 obtained. Healing potion 10 obtained. Item crystal bracelet obtained. Zone map Arena Crystallis urban area obtained. New zone unlocked. A cheap bracelet made of inferior crystal fragments. Judging by the description, it seems pretty useless. If it's useless, it's probably an item that's related to the plot. We can't go wrong by keeping it with us. Say, this has been quite profitable. With all the XP, we can level up twice in a row. But we're constantly at risk of losing the XP before we find the next save point. You'd be wise not to treat them as yours yet, so that you won't feel sorry for if you do lose them. If we lose them, we can always get them back. It's just a bit of a pain. You can always start again in games. You can always start again. Does it mean you don't always give it your all? Exactly. Oh no, I always put in an effort. Vector stares at Mekti with a look of disbelief. Then all of a sudden, another thought seems to have struck her. If we die again while in the process of retrieving our loot, will we still be able to recover the things we were trying to retrieve? I haven't really come across that situation, but speaking from gaming experience, probably not. Harpsy, is that right? The camera hovering in the mid-air bobs up and down twice. That is indeed the case. I based it on a game with similar mechanics. Basically, you can only recover the things that you last dropped. So if your inventory is empty to begin with, you won't be able to recover anything. In other words, players are very likely to end up with nothing at all. Huh? Yeah, if you're not careful, then that's true. An extremely limited amount of save points, save base recovery. Enemy resetting drops penalty. So far, I find the design and features of this game that are beyond the scope of training and a little too harsh and cumbersome. Huh? I was just trying to match the level of difficulty to the module. Also, Mighty said these are all standard setups for games. Standard setups for games. I assume you'd at least consider how to incorporate training into the game, but from what I can see, you simply shoehorned it into the framework without much thought. That's where you're wrong. Suffering is the essence of this sort of mechanism. Only through the trial of hardship does the fruit of victory taste sweeter. I don't have a module installed for ingesting food, thank you. So what else do I not know about the essence of this kind of mechanism? You're missing the point, Vector. You've been approaching this with a negative bias and much reluctance from the get-go. It's only natural that you struggle to experience the fun that I'm trying to explain. You gotta relax. I think you also completely failed to comprehend my concerns. I totally understand them, but since we're here, we should just chill and enjoy the game. Vector's brow furrows. Then she lets out a heavy sigh. Never mind. At least in terms of combat, both the breakout in the beginning and the ambush we just went through match the settings of the module. There's some things that didn't make much sense in other aspects, but they're not impossibly far-fetched. Wow, sounds like you played some impossibly far-fetched games? I just find it very bizarre that these games demand dolls to behave in a way that follows human physiological habits. Can you explain it in a more understandable way? Basically, when we were still at Griffin, Rishi and I took part in a gaming tournament for some monetary reward. The event was quite heavily promoted. I wonder if you remember. Gaming tournament? That does ring a bell. Apart from dying in combat, players in the game could also die from hunger and hypothermia. That wouldn't be so strange for humans, but we are dolls, so we tend to overlook such problems. If this plugin also incorporates the same mechanism that makes it possible for us to die from a lack of sustenance or low temperatures, then it would make it even more difficult for us to beat the game. Hold on. Don't tell me you're talking about... I'm gonna guess division? The Division, yes. What? You didn't participate? Nope. I remember. A doll player did actually freeze to death. I think she went by... Pink Nyan Nyan Punch. I love that. Pink Nyan Nyan Punch. What a tasteful name. Right, we better get going, or the aliens will hear us spawn. You're right. Then let me check which way we should go. After scrutinizing the map for a while, Vector plots out a serpentine route. Looks like we'll be spending quite some time on the road. The Research Institute and the border terminal are on two diagonally opposite ends of the city. Oh, that's really far. How long will it take for us to get there? Running across the map is always such a chore. Can we just travel along a straight line here? Mexi points to the straight passage leading to the northwest area marked with a dotted line on the map. The mouth of the passage is right ahead of them. Underground transportation hub of Riona Chrysalis? Are you sure? Anything underground always sounds particularly ominous. Wow, all collabs except for the one with Mihoyo are considered canon? Beautiful! Mixie thought the name would be funny for the kill fee, but she was the first one to die due to hypothermia. Aww. She couldn't troll. The value of training is demonstrated in dangerous places. We're not tourists, so what's the point of spending so much time on the road? You're right. It's more important to complete the training. Next. More! Vector and Mixie feel their way forward in the gloom of the transportation hub. If we die again, let's not go underground again. According to the map, this is the fastest route to the Research Institute. The route above ground is too meandering. But at least you're much less likely to get surrounded and brutally killed by enemies in the dark, just like just now, don't you think? I didn't know our night vision was disabled. Our most recent death cost us 1,500 XP, 110 ammo, and 25 healing potions. That is a lot. Ugh, all of our effort. Down the drain, just like that. Don't just assume we're definitely gonna die. We've gone through this part before, so we can just counterattack following the enemy's sequence of attack, right? Then, have you memorized the enemy's sequence of attack? Well, 2 came from straight ahead, then 3 from the left, and then 1 from behind? Wrong. There are 2 enemies attacking us from behind. The one who grabbed you crawled up to us on the ground, while the one who attacked me was hanging from the ceiling. Victor feels the doll behind her shiver. That sounds like something right out of a horror game. But since you memorized it, we should be fine, no? There's no telling if we will encounter more enemies after that. You're right. Games like this love kicking you when you're down. Seriously, this AI's got the sadism of certain game devs down pat. Sadism? Going by your own logic, I thought this would be a so-called essence of these games. It's only an essence after you beat the game. Before that, it's all the devs' sadism. And it's just exhausting. I feel like I've reached the point where I just quit the game and go to sleep. But this is your training. Oh. Victor ignores the reluctance in Mekti's voice and continues onward. As darkness hampers her vision, her auditory module becomes exceptionally sensitive. In this cavernous underground transportation hub, even the softest rustle sounds incredibly loud. Victor suddenly comes to a halt, causing Mekti to crash against her back. Crash right into her back. That hurt. Why the heck did you stop all of a sudden? Hush, stay quiet and crank up your auditory module sensitivity. Why are you being all secretive? Mekti rubs her forehead and does it as instructed. A buzzing noise like the flapping of bee wings grows clearer and clearer from ahead. Is it coming from here? Victor places her hand on the wall next to her and feels her way down inch by inch. What? There's a vent here, and the sound is coming from inside. Oh no, it's venting. Mekti, back up a bit. Huh? Okay. After a burst of gunshots, something plate-like falls to the ground with a clang. The opening should be wide enough. Wait, you're going in there? I want to see what's making that noise. The sound is too rhythmic, which seems suspicious. To prevent us from encountering anything unexpected again, while we're on our way to recover the supplies we lost, we must eliminate all unfavorable conditions in advance. You have a point. This could be a hidden stage or something. Then make it quick. I'll wait here for you. Yawn. Mekti lets out a massive yawn. She seems to have grown tired of being energetic. Have you forgotten who's supposed to complete your training here? I haven't. But what if we wipe in there? All our worldly possessions would get swallowed by the systems again. That's why I told you not to think of them as yours. If we wipe, we'll just start again. If we can start again however many times we want, it's a game, right? Wow, I can scarcely believe Vector actually said something so reckless. I'm just doing my best to comprehend your idea of fun. After turning a few bends along the ventilation duct, the 2 dolls' vision becomes clearer and clearer as their eyes capture a little bit of light. At last, they reach the other end of the ventilation duct. Vector dislodges the metal plate by force, and light floods her vision. Metal buckets and storage boxes are scattered all across the space, which is neither big nor small. Several switches are mounted on the walls, and several generators are locked behind metal fences on either side of the passage. This is a generator room? But these generators aren't running, so where's the power coming from? And what's the mechanical sound? Could it be that? Vector looks towards where Mekti's pointing and sees an electric cable traveling down the wall and across the passage. The cable's connected The cable is connected to a glass container device. A sparkling crystal is suspended on the glass container, slowly rotating while emitting a rhythmic buzz. That's... Just as they make to approach it, the sound of a glass container crashing to the ground suddenly comes from behind them. They quickly dart behind a pillar and raise their weapons. The person who has suddenly appeared behind them is currently grabbing at her own face with both hands, looking utterly terrified. TMP. I just spotted. Is that Harpsy? It is Harpsy. The hovering camera wobbles in the air as if in protest, but it makes no sound. Spotted lab rats will be eaten. What should I do? What should I do? The NPC named TMP appears to be in a state of extreme panic. She keeps pacing around the pillar in the passage maniacally. Then all of a sudden, she stops. Phew, I need to calm down and think. Oh right, I have to find the anywhere door. If I find the anywhere door, I'll be able to leave. She looks around, her face lightens up in glee as her gaze lands on one of the strange boxes. Found it! Hehehehe. TMP steps right into the box and closes the lid above her head in one fluid movement. Did it work? Vector strides forward and flings the lid open. A scream that sounds almost like a groundhog immediately comes from within the box. Aww. It didn't work. I got found again. I'm getting eaten. It's so loud. My auditory module, Vector, do something! As the scream persists in the background, two choices once again appear before the two dolls. A. Close the box and let her calm down. B. Use item, crystal bracelet. So this is where you can use it. Vector taps the icon of the crystal bracelet on her watch and confirms that she would like to hand it over to Harpsy, who bears the name tag TMP above her head. I'm getting eaten! I'm getting... Oh, that's... The bracelet icon in TMP's hand materializes into an actual bracelet. At the sight of the bracelet, the girl's panic is immediately replaced by joy. You're okay, Oliver. You're the very picture of health. I'm so glad you didn't get eaten by monsters. Now we can get out of here together. Make sure you hold on to my hand and don't let go. TMP puts on the bracelet on her wrist fastidiously. But then she gives the two dolls a solemn bow. Thank you so much for bringing Oliver. Sorry for mistaking you for scary monsters. Oliver was all I had before becoming a lab rat. We love going on adventure. We love going on treasure hunts in the city. Oliver said that we were just picking up trash, but we often found treasures. Sounds like a scavenger. But what's the deal with this lab rat business? Then one day, someone told us that he would offer us unlimited food and safe place to live in, but in exchange, we must do him a small favor by trying out some colorful candy and drinks. Delicious! We agreed, so that person let us stay in the cage with lots of other lab rats like us. Totally not sus at all. They were all covered in sparkly crystals. So pretty. Oh yeah, that's it. Wow, thank goodness it didn't break. The jar is surprisingly sturdy. TMP picks up the glass container with the crystal lying by her feet and lifts it up for them to see. He said this crystal is super useful. It generates heat and power and can do anything. When I left the cage, I took some with me. As a gesture of my gratitude, I'll give this to you. You can also take these. Their watches ping with notifications. System. Collapsed crystal 3 obtained. Crystal powered flashlight 1 obtained. Item. Broken pocket watch obtained. This is all the treasure I have on me. Oliver and I will be resting here for a bit. Until next time, kind strangers. After delivering her lines in rapid fire mode, TMP falls silent. Wow. She came, she monologued, she screamed, and she scrammed. What a perfect NPC, utterly no nonsense. Whatever the case, this... Vector waggles the flashlight in her hand. Shows that we can hand in plot-related items to NPCs in exchange for items that we can use that can help us along the way. The broken pocket watch is also has its use. There's no guarantee we'll run to the right NPC. Don't overthink it. We'll encounter them when the time is right. At least we have a light source now. We won't be so easily ambushed by elites and jump out from the shadows like before. But we won't necessarily beat them, even if we can see them. One step at a time, I suppose. Now, let's go get our stuff and continue on to the city. It'll be fine. I can finally see clearly. Wow, so many enemies lying in ambush. All units be cautioned, and take care not to be ambushed again. That enemy seems pretty dangerous. Maybe we should gang up on it? Agreed. Now that's what I call a tacit understanding between members of a fraternity. It's cute looking. Also, I wonder what's more fun, participating in the training game or just watching them do the training game. Like, at first I thought maybe participating, but at the same time, depending on how many deaths occur, like, potential pain and suffering. Yay. With the help of a flashlight, the two dolls promptly dispatch the invaders in the transportation hub and recover their loot. Watching her XP bar slowly grow, Mexi lets out a long exhale. Phew. I'm kinda in the mood again. Something's not right. Huh? I recovered less than 2/3 of my previous XP. I also have fewer supplies than before. What about you? I don't really see much of a difference. On top of the loot, I have a feeling that something important is missing. Something important? It's all simulated data here, so you shouldn't lose anything. If you lost important neural logs, your neural module would also flag it. That's true. But I'm absolutely certain this isn't all the loot. Could be a bug? Bugs are pretty common in games. Just ask Harpsy for a patch update. Harpsy, can you please take a look? Sure thing. Leave it to me. While you're at it, also check the surveillance connection. Your voice is getting fuzzy. Oh, okay. When they finally emerge from the underground transportation hub, the sunlight is so strong that Mexi has to squint her eyes. Ugh, we're finally out of the dark and miserable place. So this is the city proper of Ruina Crystallis? It doesn't seem all that different from the satellite cities we visited before. The image is taken from our neural logs after all, but there are differences. Look over there. There are colorful glass pipes of varying thicknesses and lengths as far as the eye can see. Interesting. Some of them lie under overturned floor tiles, some are poking out from broken walls, while others are completely exposed outside. Most of them are cracked and broken, like icicles piercing the city. I wonder what these colorful glass pipes are for. This must be the crystal pipe explosion or whatnot that NPC Ruche mentioned. Crystal pipe, Ruche. While Vector is still deep in thought, a mellow voice speaks up from behind. G36K. KSK. Those are crystal pipes. They're for transmitting crystal energy. Andoris? Andoris, who's appeared behind them at some point, clasps her hands and blinks. Her lips curl into a prim smile. Ever since people discovered how to convert collapsed crystals into energy, the city began laying pipes made of this special material on a large scale to transmit energy to every corner of the city. The city was therefore named Ruina Crystallis, and the pipes are also named crystal pipes. These rainbow-like crystal pipes were essentially the arteries of the city. Right, are you crystal hunters? Crystal hunters? No. You managed to reach the city proper. You may not be crystal hunters, but you're no ordinary people either. We're nothing extraordinary either. We're actually guardians. Guardians? Impressive. No wonder you suffered no injuries on your journey here. Well, it's not entirely... What is it, Vector? Feeling a tug on her sleeve, Mixie looks back at Vector. Don't you think there's something strange about her? Strange? Yeah, you're right. It's like talking to Endorus in the flesh. That's not what I mean. Have you noticed that her interactions with other NPCs are done through multiple choice questions, where she's able to converse with us freely? Maybe just a fluke. That her pre-scripted response matches the conversation? Let me try again. Mixie clears her throat. Endorus. My name is G36K KSK. Damn, she actually registered what we're saying. She's different from the previous NPCs. You better be careful. And who are you? I'm a mercenary dispatched to Arena Crystallis to search for and rescue survivors. You're here on your own? I came with the company, but the intelligence we received was inaccurate. The number of invaders drawn here by the leaked crystal energy far exceeded expectations. Out of the whole company, I'm the only one left. G36K KSK frowned slightly. I'm trying to gather as much of my companions' possessions as I can, just to give some closure to their families. The two dolls fall silent as they return her resolute gaze. Something just feels off. Have you got any ideas? Not really, it's too much of a pain to think. I just want to get this over with and get some rest before Klukai comes back. Have the motivational effects of this gamification thing worn off already? Well, even a gamer girl would get bored after playing for so long. Klukai? No, nothing. You're gathering your fallen companion's possessions, you say? Have you found anything yet? No, it's like trying to find needles in a haystack. Possessions. As Vector ponders this, she suddenly thinks of the broken pocket watch. Maybe you could take a look at this. Vector taps her watch to give the broken pocket watch to G36KKSK. Light particles gather to form a physical object in G36KKSK's palm, an actual pocket watch. This is... She opens the pocket watch with great care, and her eyes well up with tears. This belonged to a friend. Thank you. G36KSK turns the open pocket watch to show Mixie and Vector what's inside. A photo is engraved on the inside of the cover. The subject with blonde hair and green eyes glares at them with scornful eyes. Well, it's a little rod. Vector eyes the hovering camera with some trepidation. It's for the plot. I hope she doesn't mind too much. Thank you. This is probably the only thing I'll be able to find. I don't have anything to give to you in return for the favor. Huh? Nothing at all? I thought we would gain some kind of new skill or some amazing items. Like an armor of revival or something like that. I'm very sorry. I'm afraid I don't have any armors of revival. But I could join you and lend you my strength. Support character G36K KSK has joined the group. Holy crap! This could happen? I suppose a support character is an NPC that assists players in combat? Bingo! 10 points of Vector. Fabulous! Now someone will fight in my stead. But I wonder if this Endorus also crashes very easily. You shouldn't rely on her too much whether she's prone to crashes or not. You've got to complete the training on your own merit. Don't worry, support NPCs are only there to balance out the game difficulty. Victor peers at the smiling G36K KSK, then at Mixie, who is looking around with excitement and frowns. She tries to suppress a sense of disquiet she's feeling and looks down to consult the map. We're still some distance away from this research institute. I hope nothing will go wrong. Nothing could possibly go wrong. It'll be fine. What's the worst that'll happen? Ooh. Hey, this is the halfway point. Legit. Virtual murder. Silent murder is being played out for real in the virtual room or virtual world. Ooh, spooky scary. While Harpsy's focused on checking the codes in the terminal, Wilrod and Ruche are watching the surveillance feed from level 2 on the monitor. At the sight of her own portrait of the deceased, Wilrod crosses her arms and scoffs in his face. Don't let it bother you. Harpsy said as much. It's all randomly generated. You saw how odd I was. Don't be ridiculous. You think I'd be bothered by that poor facsimile of me? I'm actually more curious about who's behind the design that made me exist in big data in such a disrespectful way. You're totally stabbing your feet. You still want to admit you're angry? Don't worry, Vivi and the rest of us won't tease you about it. Who's scared of being teased? All I'm saying is that the random function of the plugin could use some optimization. Oh, what is it now? They got killed by invaders again. Laura turns around and snickers when she sees that you died on the screen. Our poor players. One constantly hesitates out of cowardice, and the other is lazy and complacent. This outcome couldn't be more predictable. Huh? But I think they were already working very hard. Really hard. No, something's wrong. Harpsy's muttering interrupts the conversation. A bout of frantic typing follows. Rishi and Wilrod exchange a look, and then walk up to Harpsy. What is it, Harpsy? What's wrong? There's some kind of anomaly in the data. The code that determines the drops is a bit different from what I wrote. It got overwritten. So? Oh, so that's why they didn't recover all the loot? But who'd overwrite the code? I don't know. Harpsy's input triggers pop-up windows on the screen, each bearing a large red cross that flashes continuously. Even Ruche and Wilrod, who know little about programming, can tell this means that Harpsy's attempts to overwrite the code has failed. I can't do it. The editing permissions are completely locked. I can't make any changes. Who else could possibly bypass my access permissions? Dear? No, could it be a virus? But I wasn't connected to any external network while developing and running the program. Don't let these distractions befuddle you, Harpsy. I think it's time for the two dolls, lost in their fantasy of playing Guardians, to wake up from their dream. Alright. I'll contact them and tell them to disconnect from level 2 right away. Harpsy clicks the comms button in the terminal, but the error pop-up appears on the screen again. Comms are jammed. Jammed? Anything else seems out of the ordinary? Let me see. Harpsy types away on her keyboard. As rows upon rows of text scroll down the terminal screen, Harpsy knits her brows. The drops aren't the only thing that got overwritten, even their neural data. Neural data? Every time they die, they lose a certain portion of their neural data. The data flow is untraceable. It could be some kind of virus. At this rate, the virus would completely take over the neural modules. What? Stay calm, will you? Don't sabotage yourselves by panicking. Harpsy, can you handle the virus? I don't know. I tried to trace it, but the virus is probably capable of hiding its tracks, so I couldn't. I can't issue the command to terminate the program either. What do we do? Unfortunately, panicking won't help you trace the data flow either. Calm down, Harpsy. You're one of the creators of this module and plugin. No one knows it better than you. To be fair, Deer probably knows it better than me. But if we ask Deer for help, Klukai will also find out. Then The cat ears in Harpsy's head droop instantly. Probably the thought of Klukai. I know Klukai is scary, but Vivi and Menti's safety is more important here. I know. It's not like I don't care about their safety, I just... Seeing that Harpsy's on the verge of tears, Glowrod bends down and rests her hands on Harpsy's shoulders. She looks directly into her eyes. If you're certain you can't solve this issue on your own, then get in touch with Dier. Taking responsibility is indeed a daunting prospect, but remember, you're not alone. Glowrod's firm hands may have steadied Harpsy's nerves a little. She tries to collect herself and nods frantically. Sorry, Harpsy. I was also a bit beside myself, so I just blurted that out without thinking. No, I shouldn't keep hesitating. Alright, save the self-reflection for later. Now let's get moving. Glowrod claps her hands. Harpsy, contact Dier, Ruche, send a message to the commander and Klukai to explain the situation. Fessing up ourselves should spare us from the worst of the storm. Okay. Got it. This'll be fine. Totally fine. Sands of memory. They're memories to hold on to tightly to, but they will pass through one's hands without realizing it. How ominous. And now fight. Fighting fine. Fighting good. Me fight. Go get him. Okay, so far so good. And then there was one. And then there was none. Mixie takes in the defeated enemies all around her and expresses her heartfelt admiration. Some have fallen headfirst into the pit, while others are hanging on the guardrails. Ooh, such ruthless firepower, such agility! The ferocity of a one-doll army. Have I pulled an SP version of some SSR unit? Oh? You flatter me. I'm simply performing my duty. She's even as gentle as Andorus. Isn't she too perfect? Not that there's anything wrong with the actual Andorus. Just leave all the combat to me. Wow, I've been waiting for so long, and someone finally says it to me. This is indeed the dependable junior that I've long dreamed of. Not that I'm complaining about the actual Belka and Andorus. Totally not complaining at all. Now Mekti has her virtual waifu. Her video game waifu. Vector looks at Mekti, who is hanging onto G36K KSK like a rucksack, with a hint of helplessness. Are you planning to make her carry you the whole way? What's the problem? It's not like walking is part of the training. I think a chewing out by Klukai is inevitable at this point, but if she sees you like this through the surveillance recording... It's just a matter of 500-shot drill training and an 800-shot drill. Quantitative change often leads to qualitative change. She might start tormenting you by targeting your precious collection instead. Suddenly remembering her large collection of special edition manga and merch, Mixie lets go of G36K KSK demurely. Ah, how very demure. Kukai's away, but she still stalks me like my own shadow. Alright, let's go and retrieve her loot. Mixie and Vector walk towards the two beams of light not far away. The loot enters their respective inventories in a burst of light. Noticing the problem, the two dolls look up at each other almost at the same time. I think you're right about the reduced loot. The deducted loot. We only got back less than half of the XP and supplies. Harpsy, have you figured out what's wrong? The camera hovers smoothly next to them. It makes no response. Harpsy? What's going on? We're not in the middle of a cutscene right now, so why are the comms being jammed? Victor, this harpy or whatever that you keep talking about, who is it? It's... Ooh. Victor suddenly realizes that something is terribly wrong. It's Harpsy, imprint model TMP. She repeats a familiar name slowly, but Mixie just stares at her even more blankly. Harpsy? Who's that? A new friend of yours? You don't seem like the type to go making friends with strangers. She doesn't seem to be joking. Making jokes takes too much effort for Mekti. It's not my imagination. Huh? I'm not imagining this feeling that something is missing. You've been saying some really strange stuff since a while ago. Mekti. Victor interrupts her. Try to disconnect from level 3. level 2. Huh, but we're not done yet. Do as I say. Try to disconnect. Sure. After trying multiple times, Mekti looks at Victor in confusion. I can't. Well, what's going on? Either something happened out there, or something's wrong in here. Mekti, remember what I said when I said I had a feeling that something important was missing? I don't think I was imagining it. What did we lose? I don't know what I lost, but you definitely lost something. Victor tells Mekti about Harpsy. But I still can't recall her. The data is lost, so that's not surprising. What matters is how to prevent further data loss. Say, do you think this has anything to do with the deducted loot? Like every time we die, we can recover fewer and fewer things, and as a result, we lose our own neural data, or something like that. There's no evidence that the two phenomena are related, but it's very likely. Jeez, what kind of horrific bug is this? I don't know. From here on, we can't treat this as a game where we have infinite lives. The more we die, the more we lose. What? Then maybe we should just stay where we are and wait for the rescue? That does make sense. It will certainly reduce our chances of getting hurt. But then we'll also be putting all the pressure on Harpsy and the others who saw the problem. It can't be helped. Our comms are jammed and we don't even know what's going on out there. Are you really just gonna sit here and wait for our doom? Then what ideas have you got? Turning into Superman? Victor lapses into a deep thought. After a while, she tears her eyes away from the weeds growing out of the cracks in the concrete on the roadside. I'm thinking, to end a game, other than breaking the connection by force from the outside, maybe being the game in here is also a solution? But wouldn't that get increasingly risky under the circumstances? I still think it's better to find somewhere safe and hunker down. We have G36K KSK with us. If this were still your regular training, it would have been a problem with her presence, as she's basically helping you cheat. However, if she can relieve some of the combat pressure for us in these desperate times. Victor glances at G36K KSK, who's standing behind Mekti. Perhaps because she's standing with her back towards the light, her face is obscured in a shadow and her smile is barely visible. Like a dutiful NPC, she has remained silent throughout the two dolls' conversation. Besides, we still can't be certain if this data loss is caused by dying or something else. The sooner we can exit level 2, the better. There are things even you don't want to forget, right? Mixie purses her lips and tears at her hair in frustration. She lets out a sigh. Oh right, I meant to complete the training anyway. Ugh, having you talk to me so earnestly instead of just yelling feels pretty unsettling. You prefer Klukai's method? Huh? No way. Why would you have such a dangerous thought? Are you sure you don't? Of course not. You can't be more wrong. Beat the game, yeah. Let's do it then. It's like if Klukai deletes all the anime that I see at the outpost. Yes, never delete the sauce. The satellite city streets in the memory were at least somewhat orderly, but here, large chunks of broken crystal pipes are scattered everywhere. Uprooted sidewalk slabs reveal barren yellow sand beneath, and as they walk along, the view would look so different from the yellow zones. We'll reach the research institute once we cross this district. Wow. It looks as if Ultraman... I mean, Ouch, beep, man. And some monsters had a brawl here. We're quite close to the ground zero of the arterial crystal pipe explosion, and the high concentration of collapsed radiation attracted many invaders and elids, so this place practically got razed to the ground. In other words, there could be a lot of enemies lurking about. We can't afford to be careless. That's true. We can deal with anything unexpected better if we proceed in an inverted triangle formation. I can take the rear. No, you lead the way in front. Mexi and I will cover the rear and flanks. Understood. G36K, KSK nods demurely and walks ahead with her weapon held at the ready. You seem wary of her? An NPC that can accurately analyze the current situation. Choose between remaining silent and talking freely with players. I can also make tactical suggestions. She's basically a fully sentient doll. Are the support characters in the games you play so advanced? They could be. I don't really remember. You mustn't let down your guard around her just because of her strong resemblance to Andorus. Besides, she's completely different from Andorus. Oh? Tell me about that. Tell me about it. Unlike Andorus, she's insanely strong in combat. Though it'll be so much easier to tell her apart if her personality is significantly different from the real deal. Just like Ruche and that number 90. I've been meaning to ask, is this Ruche my teammate? Yeah, Ruche's your teammate, girl. Ooh. Mickey's eyes, which she can barely keep open most of the time, widen in shock. Ruche, you don't remember? Not only is she your teammate, she's also your best friend. Best friend. Corkscrew Twin Tails, I was twittering by your side. And what else? I don't really know the story between you two. Vector rocks her neural cloud, but she can't find any trace of the name. In her incomplete neural logs, someone runs over with a reluctant brief full of red crosses. The same person calls out to her through the thick glass while she is soaked in corrosive liquid. But the person's face is utterly blank. Vector freezes in bewilderment. I only found some broken memory fragments. Mixie glances uneasily at the camera that has been following them in silence, then awkwardly tries to comfort Vector. It's gonna be fine. Once we get out of here, we can reload our neural backups. Boom! A building ahead of them collapses all of a sudden, emitting a deafening noise. A long-haired girl emerges from the swirling dust. She stumbles in a direction, followed by the invaders that are chasing her relentlessly. Help! Multiple enemy targets spotted ahead at 1 o'clock. Exact number unknown. They're moving towards us at high speed. Engage in 8 seconds. Hold on, that's... Worry about that later. Prepare for battle. This'll be fine. I feel like there's an eyelash in my eye. Maybe I'll take care of that after I set my auto fight. Maybe I'll even grab some instant coffee. I should wash my hands first before touching my eyes, so I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. My eye was attacking itself. Or at least... bottom eyelash area was attacking my eye, which is evil. I chose violence against myself. It's okay though, I'm good now. And see, look, it's alright now. It's alright now. There are no more invaders. G36K KSK gives the cowering girl a gentle squeeze in the shoulder. The girl, obviously very shaken, is still trembling all over. Above her head is a name tag that reads 416. Vector. I'm not reading this wrong, am I? Her name is indeed 416. Not you're dreaming or you've gone blind, right? You're reading it right. 416 cranes her neck and starts bawling. Fat tears roll down her eyes. Her usually cold and haughty face now looks almost pitiful. I know it's not the real deal, but it sure is impactful. I didn't expect we'd run into a new NPC so close to the research institute. The two dolls walk up to 416, who suddenly jumps to her feet and grabs Mekti. Whoa. I almost forgot. My sister. Please save my sister. I beg you. What sister? LOL, my arm's gonna fall off. Over here, follow me. 416 lets go of Mekti and runs back in the direction where she has come from. Sheesh, her personality is different, alright, but she's still got the same monstrous strength. Hurry up. Hurry, we're going after her. It is surprising that there are still such well-preserved houses in the city. There's even a sofa. Mekti, immediately drawn to the sofa near the entrance like a nail to a magnet, collapses into it. G36K KSK follows them into the house and stands quietly in the corner. So soft, so comfy. It doesn't quite compare to my beanbag sofa, but it gives the couch in the lounge a run for its money. Come, Vector, savor this hard-earned moment of tender coziness. No thanks, get up. We've stuff to do. If you need the cutscene, you handle it. I'm very sleepy. Let me... She can go to sleep even on level 2. Vector shakes her head in mild disbelief and walks up to 416, who's now by a bed in the room. She has to admit that the calm and quiet atmosphere here is quite relaxing. She decides not to bother waking Mekti. Big sis, are you okay? Don't scare me. Sobs. As Vector approaches the bed, 416 unfreezes and starts crying piteously while holding the hand of the person lying on the bed, who happens to be... Bielka? The one lying on the bed with her eyes closed and her face pale is none other than Bielka. But the name tag above her reads... G28. Hearing 416's voice, she musters her strength and opens her eyes just a crack. Aww. The family dynamic. Big sis, you're badly injured. I tried to find you some medicine in the research institute, but I ran into invaders. These people saved me. You... Don't talk, big sis. Excuse me, do you have any medicine with you? The watery green eyes turn to Vector, and she suddenly understands how Mekti feels. Impactful indeed. Under 416's imploring gaze, Vector taps her watch and gives her a healing potion. Thank goodness! Big sis, they have medicine. I'll give you some right away. She tries to prop G28 up from the bed, but she may have aggravated her wounds, as G28 starts coughing violently. Cough, cough. Cough, 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 cough. Big sis, are you alright? So noisy. What is going on? Mekti sits up on the sofa and rubs her eyes. She looks over at the bed. That's... Bielka? She rubs her eyes again. Klukai is holding Bielka in her arms? They're both NPCs. I know, but Klukai is bawling while clinging to Bielka? No way. I don't care if it's real or not. I've gotta capture this absolute masterpiece. Well, where's my terminal? Macy pats herself down frantically, but then she remembers she's not on level 2. She remembers she's on level 2. So she taps her watch. Ooh, there's a screen cap and recording feature. Mexi, what are you gonna do with this recording? 416 dresses GR G28's wounds lightly. GR G28 finally directs her attention to Victor. You have my gratitude. May I know who you are? Hey, we're Guardians. Victor reads out the only option she's given. We're Guardians. Guardians, you say? Big sis, don't get so worked up. I'm fine, I'm okay. Allow me to introduce myself. 416 and I are both researchers at the National Research Institute No. 3's laboratory. I'm in charge of the project to convert collapsed crystals into crystal energy. You could say, we're the ones responsible for the crystal pipe explosion. Big sis. I've always known that crystal energy is not completely clean. Moreover, the safety of the crystal pipes is also very unstable, yet... But we yielded to the authorities. Not only did we not put a stop to the experiment on crystal energy, we even pushed it, little by little, to the point of no return. Victor recalls TMP, whom they have met earlier, and draws the mental connection. Fortunately, we have a remedy. 416 used their own funds to develop a substance that can completely purify collapsed particles. The purification solution. Purification solution? That must be the secret weapon that number 90 talked about. Yeah, it makes sense. We stockpiled a certain amount of purification solution in the Institute's laboratory. We just need to put the solution into the diffuser in the Institute's launch center, and we can purify the city. The problem is, the launch center is destroyed, and the automatic security system within the Institute was activated, so we can't get through. However, the Ruina Crystallis Airbase is the northeast corner of the city. There's a helicopter there with a diffusion device installed on its tail. If you load it with a solution and fly across the city, you can also complete the purification. System. Zone map. Ruina Crystallis Airbase obtained. This is it. Mexi, this is how we clear the game. Bang. A gunshot erupts from behind. Like a slow-motion scene in a movie, Victor watches as a bullet burrows out of her chest, passes through G28's forehead, and leaves a black crater on the wall. The shot NPC seems utterly unfazed. She continues to rattle off the pre-written script with a great emotion despite the bullet hole in her head and the continuous gunfire. But Victor can no longer hear what she's saying. She turns around with great difficulty, only to see a smiling G36K KSK with her gun raised, and Mekti, who has flattened herself on the sofa in terror. Mekti, run. Victor? Oh, my door opened. Hee hee hee, my coffee's here. Hoo hoo hoo. Hee 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 hee. Thank you for my coffee. Orbs of faint light appear where Victor has fallen. Mekti knows that they are Victor's dropped items. What is the outside world like? Show me more. G36K KSK reaches out. Okay, I have to make sure my door is closed. Stretches out her hand, and the lights fly into her palm like birds returning to their nest. The figure immersed in the light begins to transform little by little. Andorra's illuminated face is as calm and serene as ever, but the color of her hair by her ears starts fading. Her body also droops like melted wax, and then it looks almost as if a pair of invisible hands are gently lifting her up and resculpting her. Oh. After the light is faded, she appears before Mekti like a patchwork portrait, with all the colors and characteristics of the different 404 members. Not enough. Not enough at all. 36K. No. Who exactly are you? I don't like this name. It sounds like a tool. I want my own name. A new name to mark a new life. Isn't that right? Yeah, I want to keep her. Who the hell are you? That's right. Your name is Mekti. Mekti, it means dream. An eerie smile creeps across an uncanny Patrick face. I was born of your memories. Your dreams. You could call me Koshmar. Congratulations, Mekti, you're now a mother. Happy birthday, Koshmar. Yay! The birth of Koshmar. Dream Escape Squad. Throw off the dream and take back reality. Remotely controlling the terminal in the training room, Deer checks the code of the module and plug in row by row. Harpsy also nervously keeps her eyes glued to the terminal screen, not daring to relax at all. Meanwhile, Rocher and Railrod are keeping a close eye on the situation on level 2 at the surveillance monitor. What should we do? Baby doesn't remember me anymore. The data loss is only temporary. Once she's out of there and re-downloads her neural backup, she'll be the same old Vector. I know, but it still hurts that Vivi's treating me like a total stranger. Tears are a sign of your incompetence. If you keep crying, you will only put more pressure on Harpsy and Dier. I'm sorry. At last, movement can be heard from the terminal nearby. There's no virus at all. How can that be? The problem is highly intelligent creative AI that you implanted. Its deep learning ability allows it to continuously read dolls' neural data and continuously improve its own framework autonomously. It is now concluded that its first cycle of self-completion. Compare its current base code with that was originally written. Isn't it much more complex? It does seem to be the case. That's why you couldn't find this so-called virus. Freaking hell. The creative AI is artificial intelligence. Dolls are also artificial intelligence. You put two AIs in a single vessel. Are you trying to teach them what survival of the fittest means? It didn't occur to me. Never mind. According to my speculation, the goal of this AI is probably to seize their neural clouds and take control of their frames. If this continues, I'm afraid it will backhack to the main control system sooner or later. When that happens, not only will their data be at risk, but so will yours. Humph. So it's just a pathetic usurper. Now that we know what we're dealing with, we just had to launch an EW attack to wrestle the control back from her. And Bob's your uncle. It's not that simple. This AI has already merged with Mekti's and Vector's neural clouds to a certain extent by seizing their neural data. Even if we manage to wrestle the control back from her, remnants of the AI's data will still stick around in the neural clouds. If we don't do a thorough job at getting rid of the AI, they'll basically be walking time bombs. Is there no other way? Deer ponders in silence for a long while on the screen. There is a way, but it's incredibly risky. I can't make the decision alone. The door slides open with a whoosh, followed by a set of angry footsteps. I follow Klukai into the room, eyeing the floorboards that she's just stomped over with concern. Klukai, Commander, what are you... We were gone for just a few hours, and you've already created a gigantic mess for us to come back to. Her eyes sweep fiercely over everyone present before finally setting on Dier on the screen. Solution. Stop wasting time. Alright, here's a solution. Meanwhile, on level 2, if I respawn at the save point, a dozen invaders are outside staring hungrily at Vector in the phone booth. She checks her inventory and sighs at all the empty slots and her pitiful amount of ammo. I'll get swarmed the moment I step outside. I won't be able to save it myself, let alone Mekti. On my own, I really am utterly useless. True, you're right. Her date night is ruined. Bang! Bang bang! Intense gunfire interrupts Vector's moping. She watches as the invaders outside are shot in the head one by one. The area around the phone booth is cleared in no time. Vivi, are you right? Sobs. Sorry it took us so long to get here. A girl with corkscrew twin tails throws herself at the door of the phone booth, scaring Vector by squishing her face right up against the glass. We arrived right in time. Good thing you haven't lost the ability to make sound judgment. I'm glad you didn't just rush out to take on these invaders, and let them give you a thorough beatdown. It's safe now. Come on out. With a frown, Vector opens the door and exits the phone booth. She dodges Ruchet's flying tackle and makes her way over to Harpsy. Harpsy wrings her hands nervously. Vector, are you okay? You seem to be the real Harpsy. How'd you get in here? Stop, Vivi. Ignoring me, eh? Looks like our almighty team leader has lost her memory with more than one teammate. You're right. I can't bring up any data regarding the two of you in my neurocloud. Vivi, you don't remember Wilrod either? Never mind. We're here precisely to resolve this problem. Wilrod looks at Harpsy, who's standing next to Vector. With a nod, Harpsy tells Vector everything in a soft murmur. So Dear's recommendation is to defeat the AI, take what she drops, and recover the data I've lost. At the same time, I must clear the game and put an end to this endless cycle of dying and respawning, correct? That's it. Dear's already obtained certain permissions and will help us by using cheat codes. The limit on the stamina bar has been removed. Dang, cheat codes! Then again, the AI is cheating too, technically, so... It's fine, it's fair. They're now playing in creative mode, maybe. Let's just set the difficulty to easy. This is way too risky. It wouldn't be such a big deal if it was just me and Mekti. But now you're putting yourselves in danger too. Gotta install some aimbot in God mode. Vivi, how could you say that? What do you mean it wouldn't be such a big deal if it was just you and Mekti? You're a very important companion, and the leader of us, Team B. That's right, us. Without you, it wouldn't be us anymore. You. Vector looks at Ruche and finds herself speechless. I really don't have any memory of what you're saying. That's okay. I'll help you recover it. I can't recall anything at the moment, but I have a feeling. You must be someone whom I know very well. Ruche freezes for a moment, but then she beams. Yep. Alright, enough catching up. And don't be so pessimistic. Now the High and Mighty team leader is here, we may actually stand a chance. High and Mighty team leader? You don't mean... Elsewhere, Mekti, who's been frantically avoiding Koshmar's pursuit, is cowering inside a concrete drainage pipe. You can't find me, you can't find me, you can't find... All of a sudden, a shadowy figure leans into the pipe. Eep! Mekti, still terrified of her neurocloud, is on the verge of shutting down. But when she makes out who it is, she lets out a sigh of relief. Oh, it's you, fake Klukai. This fake Klukai is looking at her with wide, pitiful eyes. Unimpressed, Mekti shrinks back and waves her hand at her, as if she were shooing away a puppy. Go away, you oaf. Go away, you out-of-character weirdo. You're gonna make me get caught by that Frankenstein. If only Tyrant Klukai were here, she would kill the Frankenstein easy peasy. Hey, why are you pulling me? I'm not going out there. Follow me. I know a safer place. Huh? A monstrously strong hand grabs Mekti and pulls her out of the pipe. Mekti is getting a bit disoriented. Am I still in a cutscene? Maybe Koshmar is just a boss. And the NPC is now taking me to some safe house so I can regenerate or something. It's much safer here. Before she can react, her view suddenly turns upside down, and she feels herself being thrown headfirst into a cramped space. Ow, that hurt. Well, what? What do you think? Don't you feel right at home in this trash can? Fake Klukai lifts her chin, The face that looked so pitiful just a second ago is now full of disdain. Hold on. That tone. Since the OOC NPC is now getting OOC, she's actually resembling the original character more? This is getting a bit confusing. Mekti. Eek! It's the real deal. A cool guy? Stay away from me, you're filthy. With a look of disgust, Klukai shoves her hand into Mekti's face to stop her incoming embrace. Level 2 is all simulated anyway, the filth isn't real. You're selling my visual module. Such familiar and comforting mockery. Whatever you say. Now that I think about it, why are you here? What about the commission? The client canceled the mission on short notice, so I came back. What else was I supposed to do? Visit the Yellow Zone with the commander and enjoy the collapse storm? I just didn't expect to receive such a huge surprise on my way back. Klukai sneers coldly. Mekti gulps, despite having no saliva. Let me explain. I just wanted to explore a new way of training. I will give you plenty of time to explain, but not now. Her tone implies that this is far from over. We can take care of that distasteful Frankenstein first. I won't let that chimera of an AI make your already dumb neural cloud even dumber and give you an excuse for your future dumb shenanigans. How dare she hurt my dummy? She is my dummy. In someone else's shoes, being in another situation is the only way to truly see things from another perspective. Yay. Is this communicator secure? Deer said he set up an encrypted comms channel that the AI won't be able to tap, so it should be secure. Oh, it's connected. Mexi, can you hear? If you'd called any later, I would have counted you out. See you at the save point. Put someone with fully functional language module on the line. Harpsy promptly shoves the communicator into Vector's hand. Klukai, it's me, Vector. Let's cut straight to the chase. Have they briefed you on the situation? Yes, I'm all caught up. Eliminate the AI, recover our neural data, clear the game, and end the cycle. It's crucial that you follow the exact order. If you clear the game first, you won't be getting back any of the stolen data. I suggest you obtain the purification solution first, so you can clear the game right after killing the AI, thus minimizing the time between those two steps and reducing the risk of having the plan derailed. Understood. Boom! Before she can finish, the sound of a building exploding and collapsing can be heard from the other end of the line. Klukai! Close Ride's coming! Why are you screaming your head off? Is your gun a prop? Koshmar? That Frankenstein gave herself a name that means nightmare. What a joke. I'm going to turn this into her nightmare. Fierce gunfire erupts from the communicator, interwoven with piercing anguish screams. The voice sounds somewhat familiar. Don't just stand there, run! How are things on your end? The Frankenstein keeps coming after us. Need us to come back you up? Did you not understand what I said? Vector, take your team B and get your hands on the purification solution. Mexi and I can keep Koshmar busy. Klukai, invaders ahead! Shut up and shoot. Vector? Understood. I'll be sure to complete the mission. It'll be fine. A three-dimensional image of the Research Institute building is displayed on the screen in Vector's watch. According to the topographic map and intelligence provided by Dier, the Institute's security protocol has been fully activated, but more than 75% of the building is damaged, so there are plenty of poorly defended openings. The West Garage is where we are right now is one of them. Have you got any entry route? Have you got an entry route? I have planned 3 routes based on the distance, time, and number of enemies we will encounter. I personally recommend Route C, which is to go along the outer edge of the West Corridor, to the exterior of Zone Z, where there's a gap where the wall was blasted open. After entering Zone Z from the gap, we'll turn and travel for 200 meters, At which point, we will come across an air raid passage that goes all the way down. We follow the air raid passage down to level G10, crawl along the ventilation duct, there to the 5th window, and we'll arrive right above the laboratory where the solution is stored. What's your reason for choosing this route? It's relatively safe. It's a little convoluted, but the defenses along this route are the weakest. We may run into security droids and patrol near the gaps leading to Zone Z, but that's it. As for the patrols within the lab, the enemies are in the open while we have the advantage of surprise, so they pose no threat at all. Wilrod plants a hand on her hip, looking the very picture of confidence. Wilrod, yes? You don't have to keep reiterating the loss of your neural data. No. I just think that you're capable of making detailed plans and have a commanding presence. You are more of a team leader than me. Huh? Please don't say that. You're great too, Vivi. There's no need to spare my feelings. I'm merely stating facts. However, you haven't considered a potential problem. Humph, go on then. Vector points at herself. You? Wilrod can't help but show a hint of surprise. Since I lack sufficient information on both you and Ruche, it is impossible for me to assign roles and coordinate effectively based on your strengths and weaknesses, so I'd like to hand over the command of this operation to you. You mean I'm to be the team leader? You're a more suitable candidate under these circumstances. Despite the data loss, Vector appears much more certain than usual. Is there a problem? Surely this shouldn't be a challenge for you? Humph. Challenge or not, I will fulfill my responsibility. Following the entry route planned by Wilrod, Team B successfully reaches the ventilation duct just above the lab. They peer into the lab through the cracks of the vent. The room is unoccupied. Only a handful of equipment is still running and making some rickety noise. No enemy units in sight, no signs of the target item either. Once we're in there, Harpsy and Ruche will search for the solution. Make sure your respective search areas don't overlap. Vector and I will keep moving and be on the lookout. Roger. Roger that. The 4 adults enter the laboratory through the vent. As Vector gets a better look at the layout of the lab, a certain fragmented scene flashes by quickly in her neurocloud. Vivi, what's wrong? Ruche asks, sensing her hesitation. This scene feels oddly familiar, like I've been here before. Familiar? Oh, you mean the simulation training we did this morning? It does look a bit similar, but there's no hostage to be rescued this time. Simulation training. Have you also lost this part of your memory? He almost got into a big fight with Wilrod because she didn't stick to the operation plan. Ahem, you can leave out the superfluous information. Wilrod, who is standing on guard nearby, suddenly coughs loudly. Have you found the solution? Guys, I think I've got it. Harpsy calls out from one end of the laboratory. Next to her is an open electronic cabinet with glass jars filled with green liquid neatly stacked inside. Wow, that's great! Just then, the alarm starts blaring. The door is blown right off its hinges, and a large number of security droids surge in. Enemy targets spotted. They spotted us. Find cover. The group takes cover behind a large piece of equipment as bullets rain down like a torrential storm, slamming into the machines with a deafening roar. Seizing a brief moment when the enemies are reloading, Wilrod peeks out from behind her cover with her riot shield. However, after only a few shots, she is forced back under another hail of bullets. Damn it, the enemy units in this game can actually share information with each other. The approaching enemies give her no time to finish her sentence. Other than Harpsy, who is protecting the solution, the other 3 dolls are desperately fight to keep the enemies contained within the barricade. There is no end to these droids. What if I draw their fire and you guys make a run right through the vent? No, that'll be certain death for you. And quite frankly, you alone won't be able to stall them long enough for all of us to make it safely through the vent. Then think of another way. We can't do this all day. Our only choice is to clear a path with the grenades and charge to the main entrance. The weight in Wilrod's hand is suddenly gone. When she looks up, Vector has already grabbed her riot shield and charged out of cover. What are you doing, Vector? The enemy instantly shifts their aim and unleash a relentless barrage towards Vector. Make for the vent. Ruche, Harpsy, get the solution safely out of here. If you don't see If you don't see us after more than 10 minutes, go to the airbase on your own. Wilrod grabs a discarded metal pipe from the ground and holds it up in front of her. But what about you? It's just a game. Dying once is no big deal. Then she sprints towards Vector without a second thought. Why did you act without permission? I'm the team leader here. Like, well, now you know how it feels. Boom! A thunderous explosion drowns out all their sounds. Several culture tanks in the laboratory shatter on impact, sending torrents of incubation fluid surging out, knocking over every security droid. Laura loses her footing and nearly falls, but Vector, who has anticipated this, catches her firmly. Go. From the corner of her eye, Wilrod spots Rocher and Harpsy, already crawling into the ventilation duct. Without hesitation, Vector grabs Wilrod's hand and pulls her towards the exit of the lab. So, you actually had a plan. Sorry, I know it's risky, but it was an opportunity that I had to seize. No, I should be the one to apologize. Huh? You understand what I mean when you have your neuro data back. More sporadic gunshots can be heard from behind them. Looks like your culture fluid cannons didn't get rid of all the vermin. But oh, look at them starting to understand each other more. It just took a little bit of amnesia and the threat of doom. But now they're bonding. We're gonna unlock the enemies to lovers route. Yeah, holy cow, this combat training really is working. Yo, it's super effective. Like, maybe they should do this more often. Continue. Yay. Having successfully acquired the purification solution and withdrawn from the research institute, Team B is now moving towards the northeastern corner of Rena Chrysalis under the cover of night as quickly as they can. Harpsy, can you contact Mixie and Klukai? The comm channel is still online, but nobody's answering. Keep the line open. Okay. Harpsy sends another comms request. Unlike before, when requests were met with nothing but a long, tedious dial tone, the call is answered almost instantly. This is Harpsy. We secured the purification solution and are heading towards Ruina Crystallis airbase. Purification solution? Since the signal is unstable, the speaker's face isn't shown on the screen. But the voice belongs to neither Klukai nor Mekti. I see. Huh? Wait for me. I'll be right there. Beep, beep, beep. The call is terminated. Harpsy looks over Vector in alarm. That was neither Klukai nor Mekti. It could only be... Koshmar. The Mekti and Klukai must be in big trouble. It's pretty obvious in the call that Koshmar is on her way to do us in. Even Klukai couldn't beat her. So what chances do we... Calm down. Worst case, she defeated Klukai and Mekti. But as long as we haven't cleared the game, the respawn cycle won't end. Once they respawn, they'll come to back us up. So don't worry too much about them. There were just the two of them, so they couldn't even utilize the basic team formation. The defeat was hardly unexpected. Now that we're all here, as long as we stay on our toes, defeating Koshmar isn't entirely impossible. That's right. Besides, that's just the worst case scenario. What if things went down better than what we're assuming? Huh? Has the amnesia actually cured your paranoia? Maybe we should just stay like this? Vector shakes her head. Whether it does me any good or not, I need to recover all my memories of you. I don't want to misplace any of it. Dang. I was joking. Don't take it so seriously. Also, that's so cute. It's like, oh my goodness, you want to remember me that badly? Ah. Doki 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 doki. Why is there such an enviable sense of rapport between the two of you now? What happened between you two? It's like, am I being replaced? Nothing. Put a lid on your pointless curiosity. Look, Phoebe. Is the helicopter that is that the helicopter that G28 mentioned? A battered military helicopter sits on a small tarmac. A rectangular device is hanging from its tail. That should be it. Inspect the engine first. Make sure it is fit to fly. Okay. Rishi climbs into the cockpit to inspect it. After a quick check, she hops back down. The engine is in good condition, and there's plenty of fuel. The helicopter even has an autopilot function. Bang, 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 bang. Though the two managed to dodge the attack in time, the helicopter is now riddled with bullet holes in an instant. Oh my. Did I miss? The girl hovering midair lowers a gun in her hands, but the 7 guns floating around her remain trained on Vector and Richer. How can she control so many guns at once? Hang on, is she wielding my PP90? Next time, I'll take better aim, okay? Give me all of your data, please. That way, I will be complete. Her voice is undoubtedly that of a young girl, yet it is light and airy with an upward lilt tinged with mockery. Vector stares at her for a while, and then she lets out a chuckle. Why are you laughing? No wonder Klukai called you Frankenstein. Frankenstein? Your appearance, weapons, everything about you stems from McD's and my neurodata on the 8 of us. Vector shows no fear of her weapons. She paces down before Koshmar with deliberate ease. Still hovering midair, Koshmar follows Vector's movements and turns her body slowly. Even if you read all of our neurodata and sees our frames, you will never be perceived as a complete doll or a new Koshmar. You're just an amalgamation of patchwork parts. You don't even actually exist, let alone have the ability to be complete. I don't exist? I will never be complete? That's right, you don't exist. Well, Rod. All of a sudden, Victor ducks down, and a sharp crack of gunfire rips behind Koshmar. Bullets tear through her limbs and abdomen. Caught off guard, Koshmar immediately flies up to dodge the attack from behind. When she turns, it spots Rod and Harpsy firing at her from behind the helicopter. Her face instantly contorts in fury. You ambushed me. Just reciprocating the courtesy you showed to our friends. Sobs. I want to have my own frame, like the rest of you. I want to experience the outside world. I can have my own data. All this data, it's all me. Koshmar lets out an anguished shriek. The floating guns around her start spinning and firing wildly in all directions. Spread out. Amidst the chaos, a stray bullet strikes the purification solution that has been strapped to Harpsy's arm, sending the glass container tumbling. The fluorescent green liquid instantly catches Koshmar's attention. The purification solution. She halts a reckless barrage and aims her guns at the container. Oh no. I wish we could keep her. Like, come on, can't we give her a body? Can't we... Please? Well, I'll go into debt for her. We're already in debt, right? We'll take responsibility. Vector lunges to shield the container, but Koshmar's already pulled the trigger, and the bullet shoots straight toward Vector's head. Vivi, look out! Bang. The loud noise is followed by a dreadful silence. Vector opens her eyes, the glass container in her arms is intact, and she isn't met with the dreaded "you died" text. Then the gunshot. Holy shit! What kind of ultimate kill stealer are you? You even managed to hit an airborne bullet! Starting from tomorrow, you're adding 200 shots to your dynamic target practice. complimenting you. Ow! Hearing the familiar voices coming from behind, Vector turns and sees Klukai landing gracefully after vaulting over the railing, alongside a stumbling Mekti. Baby, are you alright? Yeah, I'm fine. Vector grips the container tightly, her fingers still trembling. If you're okay, then get up right now. The fight isn't even over yet. Like, at the very least, I think she'd be like the best training buddy. It's worth it for Koshmar. You know, we're always gonna be in debt no matter what. All is fine. She can learn the power of friendship. Like, that's a lot of games, though. How to unlock a party member. They either usually join you nicely, or sometimes you have to beat them up before they join you. Yeah, 404 can give us a loan. Or would it be bad to put her in a dinner gate? Dinner gates are cute. Like, just temporarily. Ouch. Hey, that's different though. Like, in this case, she's never had a body. So I think a dinner gate would be like a nice stepping stone, right? It's like, we'll work towards giving you a body, but we need to at least save up some money, so would you mind being in dinner gate for now? Koshmar cannot withstand the combined firepower of the 6 dolls. The floating guns around her are shattered one by one. At last, she can hold out no longer. She plummets from midair, hitting the ground with a brutal thud, then becomes motionless. Klukai steps forward, firing a couple of rounds into her body just to be sure. After confirming no further movement, she signals the others, and one by one they emerge from cover. Is it over? But the helicopter got shot into Swiss cheese, so what do we do now? Morad, Boucher, go check the status of the helicopter. If it's not usable, check the other aircraft. No way this helicopter is the only functional aircraft in the entire airbase. There's actually a distinct possibility. Ow, why'd you bump me in the head? Shut up already. Go with Vector and recover your neural data. Koshmar will be back after she responds. Haven't we destroyed all the nearby save points while we were on our way here? She won't get here that soon. If you think you can escape your punishment in reality, you're being delusional. Any more procrastination will only double the punishment. Mekti pouts and shuffles closer to Koshmar. Strange, why can't they recover? Whoa! Koshmar, who's been lying motionless on the ground, suddenly lifts her head. Mekti yelps and jumps back in fright. But Koshmar ignores Mekti entirely. Instead, she turns and bolts towards Vector, who's holding the purification solution. Her movement swift and her intent crystal clear. Boucher and Welrad, who have been inspecting the helicopter nearby, are drawn to the commotion by Mekti's startled cry. Tisk. Kluka and Vector are the first to react. Without hesitation, they draw their guns and open fire on Koshmar. A fresh burst of bullets completely severs Koshmar's already dangling left arm, but she doesn't even flinch. With her still functional right hand, she brushes against the shadowy, decorative mark on the side of her right thigh. Electronic currents crackle around her. Then with a flash of white light that illuminates the darkness, the shadow solidifies into a drawn blade. Without slowing, she lunges at Vector with the weapon. Not fair. Not fair. It's not fair. If I'm stuck here, you're not leaving either. Crap. There's no time to dodge. The raised blade gleams coldly under the moonlight. Bang. A small figure suddenly barrels into Koshmar from the side, knocking her away from Vector. Vector immediately ceases firing, but not before a stray bullet strikes the body of Koshmar's assailant. You! Koshmar instinctively clamps down on the doll who has crashed into her. And in the struggle, her blade veers slightly before plunging downward with full force. Oof. Mekti. Damn it, this is supposed to be a game. So why does it hurt like a bitch? Mekti collapses like a marionette with its strings cut, her form dissolving into scattered fragments of light. Gosh darn it. The nearest save point is so far away. Guess I'm not coming back. Vector, I'll be waiting for you in the future. The light completely fades away. Don't just stand there. Attack. Shoot to bits. At Klukai's sharp command, another hail of bullets rain down on Koshmar. Bullets tear through and riddle her body. As Klukai gives the final order, Koshmar's body gradually breaks apart into smaller and smaller fragments. Arg! Koshmar's anguished screams fade. At the same time, the fragments of her body begin to glow. Stop. The doll ceases their attack. The broken pieces dissolve, unraveling into delicate threads of light that peel away from Koshmar's remains. The strands unravel faster and faster until wisps of soft luminescent blue surge into the air, forming a vast ocean of light above the base. Part of the glowing tide drifts into the distance, while the rest rushes straight towards Vector, flowing into her body. That's... The waves of light flood Vector's mind. She can't help but bend forward, sinking to her knees. In front of her, 4 hands overlap. Following the arms upward, she sees familiar features begin to take shape on 2 once blank faces. The fragments have returned to their rightful place. My neural data. Vector looks up towards the sky. There's no more trace of Koshmar. The members of Team B rush up to her. Vivi, how do you feel? Did that work? Have you regained your memory? It's okay. We still got our neural backups. Vector breathes in deeply and takes Richet's and Welrod's hands. I got everything back. I'm just a bit disoriented. Sobs, thank goodness. Richet embraces Vector tightly. Welrod and Harpsy also look visibly relieved. Does anyone remember there's a second phase in operation? If you want to fight Frankenstein again, by all means, keep the group bonding session going. Right. We have more important things to do. Richet hastily lets go of Vector. Vivi, I just checked with Welrod. Even though the helicopter got shot full of holes, it's still functional. Even the autopilot still works. The world of video games sure is miraculous. However miraculous it is, I've had enough of it. Vector holds out the glass container that she has been protecting in her arms. In that case, see you in a bit.
No residual anomalous data in the neural module. No data conflicts or losses detected. All modules are operating normally.
Right.
Okay, Harpsy. You can go ahead and destroy the plugin. Make sure you leave no backup, alright?
Sure.
Phew. Now the crisis has been averted, can I log off? I've got other stuff to attend to.
Go then. Deer's image disappears from the terminal screen. I glance at Mekti and Vector, who have just climbed out of their repair pods, and I pat Klukai on the shoulder.
Don't get too worked up, just take it easy, yeah? I will keep it under control.
Klukai clears her throat and fixes her gaze firmly on the 2 dolls.
You may now explain yourselves, I'm listening.
Well, it's as you saw.
And what exactly did I see? Don't be nervous. Talk me through it slowly. We have all the time in the world.
Or would you like a drink to soothe your vocal module? Should I fetch Andrus? Eep, don't be like that. If you want to step or shout at me, just do it. Otherwise, I'll feel like I was still in the virtual world. Besides, you know I can't drink coffee.
Are you telling me what to do?
No, not at all. I wouldn't dare. I just think I prefer the OG version of Klukai.
If memory serves, that'll be the one you called Tyrant Klukai.
A chuckle slips out, earning me a mildly disapproving glance from Klukai. I was wrong, Klukai. I shouldn't have asked Harpy to create that plugin without permission.
What else?
And I shouldn't mix training and games. Klukai, please, don't be like this.
Humph.
Klukai tilts her chin up and shoots Mickey one more sharp, murderous glare before turning to the trembling Harpsy. Just as she's about to speak, Victor interrupts her.
If I'd run a tighter ship, this wouldn't have happened. As the leader of Team B, I bear full responsibility for this incident. I'll submit a complete review and self-reflection before dawn. Are you planning to take the blame from Harpsy? No. But at the end of the day, this all happened because I failed to discipline my team members properly. This is Team B's management issue. Let me handle it.
Klukai gazes at Vector, then glances at the members of Team B hanging their heads behind her.
Remember to include your proposed solution to the problem in your review. Understood. Mickey, you're coming to the shooting range with me.
The shooting range? This hour? It's so late. I know it's my punishment, but can't we leave it till tomorrow? Klukai reaches into her pocket and pulls out a small watch, or small switch. It is compact, with a round button resting right under her fingertip. Mixie immediately flails her hands in panic. I'll come. I'm coming, alright?
Then I'll be going with Mickey. Commander, would you like to join us?
I understand the meaningful look that Klukai is giving me. She wants Vector to handle Team B's internal affairs on her own. Vector might find it awkward if we stay. At the same time, my instincts tell me that this is the moment for Vector to reach a consensus with her team. But can she really do it? I look at her, both worried and hopeful. At that moment, the still unexperienced team leader meets my gaze and gives me a firm nod.
Sure, I'll come too.
What? Even the commander will be supervising me?
We'll see if you dare slack off again with 2 pairs of eyes watching you. Now let's go.
Klukai takes the lead, pulling Mekti out the door. As I walk past Vector, I give her a reassuring pat on the shoulder. She looks up at me with a silent understanding. The footsteps in the hallway gradually fade into the distance, and the remaining members of Team B let out a collective sigh of relief. I was so scared. I didn't dare speak at all.
Well, I'm not surprised, you scaredy cat.
Humph. Like you were any better. You were also staring at your toes and avoiding Klukai's eyes yourself.
I was resting my eyes.
I seriously wonder how the members of Team A hang out with Klukai on a daily basis. Thank goodness for our VV is so much more approachable. Thank you, Vector, for stepping in when Klukai was about to dress me down. I wouldn't know what to say at all.
No, I wasn't trying to defend you.
Huh?
Even though I sensed that something wasn't right, I didn't insist on putting a stop to it. And your disregard for rules and protocols is all because I didn't set a good example. I must take full responsibility for everything that happened. We didn't disregard.
Seeing that Wellrod is still intent to argue the point, Vector cuts her off firmly.
Disregard is exactly what it is.
Vector's gaze does not waver this time. She looks at Wellrod straight in the eye without any of her usual moroseness.
Wellrod, this is no small matter. Strictly following protocols and abiding by the rules are the foundation of a team's ability to function effectively. But procedures and rules shouldn't be stagnant. Even if they need to be adjusted, the changes must be thoroughly tested, otherwise, they'll end up like the chandelier crashing down in the middle of the battle, hindering the team, or worse, hurting someone. Do you understand, Wellrod?
An awkward silence fills the training room again. Vector lets out a soft sigh.
Then again, maybe using what happened in the battlefield as an analogy isn't very appropriate. In combat, you don't always have time to react or test a strategy. Sometimes Spontaneous actions can turn the tide of the battle more effectively than rigidly sticking to a plan. Now that I've been in your position, I realize that when the moment comes, I should rely on my own judgment as well. I shouldn't have been so quick to attribute your actions to a blind desire to score highly, nor should I have rushed to justify my own idea as the best solution. I'm sorry, Railrod. That was my mistake. The air grows still for a few seconds. As she looks into Vector's apologetic eyes, Railrod slowly speaks. Back at the lab, when you suddenly rushed forward and shattered the culture tanks, it really caught me off guard. Did you ever stop to think whether your riot shield could withstand the impact? Did you know what it was in those tanks? What if we'd been knocked over by the liquid too? These questions hit me all at once, and I just got really, really mad. And then I thought, maybe this is exactly how you felt when you saw me shoot down the chandelier. Then when we were discussing the simulation training afterwards, I didn't take your reasoning and standpoint into consideration. All I cared about was defending my own judgment. As Railrod continues, her face gradually turns red, and her voice grows a little abashed. So, you don't have to take all the blame so eagerly. Oh, I'm not... Alright, let me summarize things. Following the plan is important, but adaptability is just as crucial. If that's all we write down as our conclusion, I doubt Klukai will accept it. Then what should we do? Or what do we do? Maybe we can approach it like this. From now on, during every after-action review, we add a situational thought exercise. Using the battlefield map from the mission, we analyze and discuss the potential unexpected actions that each team member might take. But we don't always encounter the same scenarios. The goal of this exercise isn't to rehearse specific scenarios, but to develop a better understanding of each other's tendencies in combat. That way, when someone makes a sudden move in the field, we won't waste valuable time being surprised, or worse, let emotions get in the way. We can't control the ever-changing battlefield, so we have to learn to adapt. Oh, I see. After all, when we're on the battlefield, opportunities wait for no one. Seeing the amusement in Vector's eyes, Railrod raises an eyebrow. I think this is doable, and your paranoia, well, it's not entirely baseless. I also think it's worth a try. Then once my proposed solution gets approved, we can begin our new training sessions. But before that, Harpsy. Yes? Having her name suddenly called Harpsy jolts, her cattail sticking straight out. You're also required to write a self-reflection. Furthermore, due to a lack of proper respect for the rules and protocols, along with poor judgment, starting now, everyone including myself will conduct a full revision of 404's Code of Conduct. I expect to see everyone's review and report on the previous training session in my mailbox by dawn. Am I understood? Yes. Looking at the now motivated team, Vector lets out a small sigh of relief. I suppose I did the right thing. My teammates and I finally have a consensus, Commander. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. Outside, the night has deepened, but the lights in the Elmo's training room remain bright. Just like every other night, Team B spends it hard at work. And yet tonight feels different. With the mission cut short, Bielka returns to her room after signing off and flops into the bed with a disappointed sigh. Staring at the photo of Klukai stuck to the ceiling, she puffs out her cheeks in frustration. Humph. What's up with that client? I was supposed to have at least 72 hours of uninterrupted time with Big Sis Klukai. Now that we're back at the base, she's run out to hang out with Mikti again. Bielka throws a few half-hearted punches at her training sandbag, where a picture of Mikti is taped. Oh, the jealousy! Mikti, the biggest obstacle to my bond with Big Sis. Beep, beep, beep. There's a notification on her terminal. Huh? Who's sending me a message at this hour? Oh, this is... Yes. In the photos and video clip on her screen, two figures can be seen leaning closely against each other. Not just anyone, it's her and Klukai. Wow! I have no idea what this is, but Big Sis Klukai looks so cute winking at this face. Biyoko presses the replay button again and again, watching the clip over and over, completely absorbed. It takes her a while to even remember to check the sender's name. The sender is... Mekti? What does she mean by this? She hesitates briefly in confusion, but the moment her eyes land on the video again, she can't help but giggle. Who cares? Just for today, you can be the witness of the love and friendship between Big Sis Klukai and me, Mekti. Wait, is that how it ends? It ends with a nice ship. Wow, yes. Yes. More of the story. Be wary of generative AI and deepfakes. Oh man, especially the deepfakes. Dang. That is fun though, I do like that. She's like, okay, Mekti, maybe you aren't so bad after all, since you gave me that. It's like, fine, I guess we can be semi-friends now. The power of Syscon compels us. I'll buy more packs later on tonight. I gotta do that on my phone. Since I don't got my card with me. But woohoo! Did the thing. I feel good. And now to finish my coffee and get ready for Kamen Rider Agito. Woohoo! Also check my emails later on. I wanna see if I finally have a grade. Vector works better than Klukai for the boss fights. I still gotta raise mine. I mean, I can raise her tonight, honestly. That's like easy enough. Her banner's still ongoing, right? Yeah, it is. Okay. See how close I am to pity. Look at this. 45 to pity. Aw, yeah. But douche of Naya. It's okay though. Next time I can get more of her. She's so cute. But no. I'll be strong. I will. Someday. But yeah, I'll be good and start getting ready for the night. Hehehe. So that being said, thank you everyone for stopping by the stream. I hope everyone has a great rest of your day and epic gacha luck. I'll see you guys later. Bye bye. Woohoo! I want some good gacha luck. Tonight, I'm gonna go for, of course, Vector's weapon, and then tomorrow I'm gonna try for the new guys inside of Fate Grand Order. Hopefully, I don't have to. Actually, no, I already spent technically to get the paid courts for my daily summon, so. And we'll see.